It was sent to me and I read the script and I fell in love with the story. I fell in love with the romance. It reminded me so much of Roman Holiday, which is one of my favorite films. And I grew up loving and watching that movie. And so I just thought, I have to be a part of this movie. I know that people will go and see this film and enjoy themselves and go on this journey with this young woman who's trying to grapple with her destiny and grow. You know, I think that's something that we all experience coming of age is the, how do you marry the expectations that you have for yourself with the expectations that others have for you? And so that was a real kind of something that resonated with me. And then I sent in my audition tape, and then I did a live Skype audition with Julian, and then I was offered the role. And I flew to London, and I met Julian, and I sat down with him for the first time in person. And midway through our meeting, he looked at me and he said, "Oh my gosh, you're so Canadian." And I thought, what have I gotten myself into? But that fear kind of quickly transformed into a challenge, and I tried to really view approaching this role, approaching playing the Queen as a challenge.
He's a father looking at a very particular moment in time where the world is on a cliff edge, and he's afraid. He's afraid for himself, he's afraid for his children, and he's afraid for his country, which he also sees as part of his family, I suppose. And I suppose for me, in one sense, it was easy to identify with that side of the character, because I think, you know, as a late middle-aged person myself, I feel quite afraid of the future, and I feel that we're on a similar kind of cliff somewhere, and the future's not clear like it used to be. And so I think that's one of the great things about the story, that all the characters are inspiring, because the young characters are desperate to see the world and to get out of, you know, their gilded cages, and that's something I think we can all identify with as well when we're young. And the older people are very wary of the new world that's starting. So it's got lots of kind of deep things going on, even though it's a comedy as well.
We shot on location for the entire film, which is incredible. So all of our exteriors were done in Hull, where they kind of recreated London at that time, and then all of the interiors were done at places like Chatsworth and Belvoir Castle, and then for the Knocking Shop, we actually shot in East London. So each kind of set gave us a real kind of different energy, different environment to kind of inhabit. So it was really great because it felt like we were there.
I think the Queen would... It must be very difficult when people are reinventing a story that you lived. And certainly I think none of us are saying that every single moment in our story is historical fact. It's a historical novel or a romance built on a historical moment. And but I'm sure it's difficult for her to look at. But at the same time, it's a kind of testament of her own popularity that I think the film hopefully will be, you know, very successful, and people love to see it theatricalized or cinematized.
I do think she would have a laugh, and I do think she would enjoy it, and I do think she would find it charming.